It's the fourth and final match of day one of the Magic Weekend. We're at Murrayfield. We have been since 1 o'clock today, and it's Leeds, the champions, against Wakefield to bring the curtain down on this first day of fantastic action. The champions at the moment outside the top 8. We will confirm that for you in a moment. There's the story of the day so far. A wonderful win for Crusaders against the Bradford Bulls. Harlequins getting the better of Hull FC. So in the opening two matches, teams inside the top 8 simply couldn't win. But Warrington put that record to bed in the last match, 68-16. They demolished Salford. It's Leeds-Wakefield now, and there's the programme we've got for you tomorrow. They're all live on Sky Sports. Castleford against the Catalan Dragons at 2. Wigan against Huddersfield at 4. And St Helens against Hull Kingston Rovers at 6 o'clock. So coming into this, the fourth game of the weekend, well, Wakefield are there in the 8. They have 12 points from 12 matches played. Warrington sitting at the top of the table, but that won't worry Brian McLennan and the Leeds Rhinos just now, because they want to get into the top 8. If they win, they will do that at Wakefield's expense. If Wakefield win, there will be a 3-point gap between them and the champions. Let's take a look at the teams for this, the final match, game 4 of day 1. And the Rhinos have got Brent Webb back at fullback. Then it's Lee Smith, Brett Delaney, Keith Senior and Ryan Hall, Danny Maguire and Rob Burrow. That's their first choice back line. Up front, Jamie Peacock starts, so does Danny Badiris and Ryan Bailey. It's Jamie Jones-Buchanan, Ian Kirk in the second row. Kevin Sinfield is the skipper and loose forward. And on the bench, it's Matt Diskin, Luke Burgess, Luke Ambler and Chris Clarkson. Youngster there for coach Brian McLennan. Now the Wildcats, it's Aaron Murphy at fullback, Damien Blanche, Sean Gleeson, Jason Demetriou the skipper and Luke George, Ben Jeffries and Sam Obst. The forwards, Michael Korkidas, Tavita Leolatu, Paul King, Dale Ferguson, Paul Johnson and Kevin Henderson. They've suffered a blow here just immediately before the match because Danny Kermond has been ruled out as loose forward. So Henderson comes off the bench to play at the back of the scrum. And so that means that Dale Morton will play off the bench. It's Kyle Bibb, Dale Morton, James Davey and Richard Moore for coach John Keir. So the Wildcats, they're all ready. They beat Leeds 28-18 at Bellevue on February the 14th. But John Keir points out it'll be a vastly different side that he puts out here today from the one that claimed their first ever home Super League win against the Rhinos, who will be led out by Kevin Sinfield. This is the climax then of Rugby League's longest day. Leeds 9th, Wakefield 8th. The winners will be confirmed in the top 8.
Certainly a big ask, Eddie, in regards to Wakefield, but their coach John Keir is a crafty man indeed. He would have watched the video of Leeds being absolutely pummeled last week by the St Helens forwards, but do Wakefield possess the strong enough pack to go down the middle against the Rhinos? Brian McLennan would have been fully aware of the fact that the forwards did not lay the platform. And there is Kevin Henderson that's just come off the bench. It's a bitter blow. Danny Kermond is ruled out just before this game kicks off. It's so important that the Wildcats get off to a very, very strong start. And I really expect this, Eddie, to be a little bit more lively within the forwards. There's not much love lost between these two sides.
Well, the Leeds Rhinos have won all 3 previous Magic fixtures that they've played in, but they find themselves with a record of just 5 wins and a draw from 12 games so far. Hull Kingston Rovers, by the way, they also have won all 3 Magic Weekend fixtures that they have played in as well, and they face a very stern test in the final match tomorrow against St Helens. Remember that Leeds lost just 6 all the way through last year as they claimed the League Leaders Shield and then the title. They arrive in Scotland after that 41-20 beating by St Helens, and Kevin Sinfield gets the game underway. The Wakefield Wildcats rather get the game underway here, and Ryan Bailey will drive the ball forward on the first tackle of this match. It's Leeds who have first use of the ball here in this final match. Peacock to his feet, plays the ball to Danny Badiris. This now is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. John Keir, when he announced his team 24 hours ago, said that the Wildcats had Well, they trained really well all week. They were really looking forward to it because many of their youngsters, many of their team, they will never play on a stage that is bigger than this Murrayfield. And that is incentive enough, he believes, so they might be able to claim, well, their second win of the season against the champions. That would be a real story.
Well, they always seem to lift their game, don't they? And I must say that they've started out pretty positive. It's been good defence, but that's a fine kick into the corner.
It's collected by Luke George over there on the far side. The chasers have arrived, though, for the Rhinos. Delaney and Maguire pulling George to ground. And this now is Aaron Murphy. Second tackle of this first set of 6 with the ball in the possession of the Wildcats. That's Kevin Henderson, who played the ball there. He's just in the side, as I say. He was coming off the bench anyway, but starting the match here tonight, the Scottish international.
Tremendous tackle there by Rob Burrow. He looks as though he's buzzing. He wants to get him involved in the game. And as we mentioned, it's no surprise that Wakefield are going down the middle with the big boys, but that's a nice kick, put under a lot of pressure.
Here comes Brent Webb, though. They miss Brent Webb, don't they, when he isn't in the side, and he wasn't there last week against St Helens. This now is Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall, the 70th Leeds appearance. He's scored 55 tries in those Leeds games that he's played. It's a remarkable record for last year's leading Super League try scorer.
I think got it spot on, Eddie, in regards to Brent Webb being back in the Leeds outfit. When he was missing, gives him an extra dimension, doesn't he, in the attacking role. But I must say that they've got to make sure that their solid defence hangs out, and that looked touch forward there, back on the inside.
From Burrow to Peacock, who plays it quickly. There's Badiras, here is Burrow. Burrow will stab it through. It's a horrible bounce, but it's very well claimed in the end. Claimed by Aaron Murphy, the 21-year-old fullback. John Keir thinks that young man is worth a place in the England elite training squad, the performances that he's put in this year. It's Wakefield trying to work the ball away from their own line. No longer, of course, does Wakefield have Brough, Newton or Shane Tronk at the club. Here's a knock-on, though, forced by a big hit by Jamie Peacock.
Certainly was. Great to get the shoulder into it. Dimitriou had no chance of hanging on to that. It does surprise me, time and time again, when players carry the football, they use the ball-carrying arm to make the first impact. It's always a risk that it can be just shoveled out from you.
We've seen that about half a dozen times so far today, Mike, hasn't it? You don't really win if you're leading at that pace with a ball-carrying arm.
It's Wakefield on the back foot here then, as Kirk drives it in once again. Tavita Leolatu was there. So too was Paul King. That's Danny Badiras. Bailey gives it to Maguire. Good hands, but a high shot on Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Jason Dimitriou, the Wakefield skipper, just going up a bit high above the shoulder.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
More of a grab than anything else. Or has he given it offside, has he, the referee? Anyway, it's a penalty. It is a penalty to Leeds, and you can see where they are. The champions won't be arguing about that. And this is Rob Burrow, and Burrow will score for Leeds.
This might be wiped off. I think there might have been obstruction there. Rob Burrow jinking in and out, went through, but I think he may have utilised one of his dummy runners to great effect. He gets the ball here. Now watch when he runs across. I think you might find that Jeffries has been taken out by Big Kirk.
Well, in the letter of the law, this will be struck off.
Yeah, it will, because Kirk has made contact with Ben Jeffries, and that surely will be denied. Phil Bentham is the video referee, but the Frenchman, Thierry Alibert, definitely raised the arms and said, we'll have a look at this one. Well, and that is the reason. It's got to be wiped off.
Remember the Ryan Hall try that was wiped off at St Helens last week, which would have put Leeds 12-0 up. They're not looking at the grounding, so this is going to be turned down. And no try is the decision from Phil Bentham.
Do you know, just Eddie, because I want to be argumentative with you and Steve-O, I'd say that
Nothing
you
wrong
could
with
give that because the defender wasn't impeded in making a tackle. He chose not to go for Rob Burrow. He waited for his man.
Bill, I'll agree to disagree. Rob Burrow ran around the back of a lead runner. It was the faintest of touches, I do agree, and Wakefield played it well. But the bottom line is your instincts in rugby league say you cannot run around the back of a lead going through the line.
Phil, you're entitled to your opinion, everybody is, of course, but I remember what you were saying last week at St Helens, and I don't think that the one at St Helens was as clear-cut as that one. As I say, opinions are good, aren't they? We've all got them.
Well, it was a relief, I think, for Wakefield. They needed to survive that early 5-minute pressure that Leeds were inevitably. There had to be a backlash from the Rhinos after what happened last week, where they were embarrassed against St Helens. And that backlash is hoping that they're going to start in such a powerful and dynamic way that Wakefield can't cope. Now, with a penalty here, the Wildcats get an opportunity to put the Rhinos under pressure.
Well, that was silly play by the experienced Keith Senior. Tackle had been completed. Why he went for the second go is anybody's guess. No doubt he'll be requested from his coach, Brian McLennan, to say why on earth he's given away that. The pressure now on the Rhinos.
Yes, the chance here for Wakefield to attack that Leeds line for the first time. There's Paul Johnson, Tavita Leolato, the dummy half, Ben Jeffries, Paul King, good hands, Sam Obst. Disappears, though, underneath the challenge from Badeiras and Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Leolato again at dummy half, back it comes to Jeffries. He pops the ball up then. It's another decent little run from Dale Ferguson this time. Leolato once more, they're 10 metres away from the Leeds line. Korkidas will drive it in. Michael Korkidas almost to the line, and Leeds now having to muscle up in defence. 2 tackles remaining this set of 6 for the Wildcats. Back it comes to Ben Jeffries, and Jeffries taking the line on, and Jeffries will score for Wakefield.
Beautiful dummy.
Well, John Keir, as I say, he said his men trained so well this week and they were looking forward to the challenge. And Ben Jeffries, one end we get Leeds with a try, chalked off by the video referee. And from the very next attack, and on the back of a penalty, Ben Jeffries over for the first Wakefield try. Ben Jeffries, he began the season with a try against Harlequins and one against Leeds in February.
It was the Keith Senior penalty that they gave him away, and he just shimmied right the way through. I think it's Ryan Bailey that fails to get to him. That wasn't the best attempt. Take nothing away from this man. Ben Jeffries, he's got the experience as well. He just dipped the shoulder. It was enough for the forward to come out, and he took full advantage of that.
Well, Ben Jeffries is the man who's going to try and improve his own try here. There's a little bit of a council of war going on behind the posts, or at least behind the goal line for the Leeds Rhinos. You know, when you think about this Magic Weekend, if there is an element of a cup tie, this is it today, because we have Leeds battling to get in the 8, Wakefield in 8th place, and well, if Leeds win, they go above Wakefield. Wakefield win, as I say, they open up this 3-point gap, and Ben Jeffries has added the extra 2. It's Leeds 0, it's Wakefield 6.
Well, full credit to this man. Through the dummy, and watch how Bailey comes out of the line. If you're going to do that, you've got to make sure that you get that collision. He failed to do that, and this standoff, Ben Jeffries, has turned the stadium upside down with Wakefield 6. What a great start for the Wildcats.
Korkidas with a big drive from the kick-off. Let's go down to Bill on the side.
Eddie, you're wondering what happened to Danny Kerman. Well, the word from the Wakefield Wildcats camp was that he went into back spasm in the warm-up out on the adjoining training fields outside Murrayfield here, and had to pull out right at the last minute. Kevin Henderson, who travelled as 18th man, getting a very late call-up into the starting side.
Well, so far it hasn't affected them, the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. Ben Jeffries, by the way, doesn't usually kick goals. That's about the 8th successful kick he has put in a career spanning more than 200 appearances. So they're trying to replace and find the Danny Brough element, aren't they? And Ben Jeffries is the man who today has so far provided. That's a spiralling bomb from him. It's very well claimed, though, by Brent Webb.
Good chase. Nice tackle by Ops as well. Pulling themselves about. Ops trying to get involved yet again.
Lovely scampering little run from Burrow.
Going back to that try that Jeffries has just scored, Brian McLennan will be not too impressed with the way that Bailey came out of that line. That's an enormous gap.
And Lee Smith disappears under the challenge of Paul King, the sub in Hull's 2005 Challenge Cup win against Leeds at Cardiff, of course. Paul King relishes the opportunity to put one over on the Yorkshire Millionaires if he possibly can. Sinfield gingerly to his feet.
Yeah,
this is Maguire.
Picked up a knock on there. I must say, though, that why on earth is a man like Kevin Sinfield taking up the ball like a prop forward? He's a creative player. You don't utilise him as a workhorse.
Well, Leeds' defeat last week at St Helens halted a run of 4 unbeaten. That was their best run of the season so far. But they're desperate for the victory here. Still half of the season to go, of course. It wouldn't be a completely lost cause if they did fall to Wakefield today, but a 3-point gap and outside the 8, it's uncharacteristic.
And a couple of worrying signs for the Leeds Rhinos. We've just seen Kevin Sinfield then leaping back into the limping, shall I say, back into the line of play, whilst Danny Maguire was limping out of it on the other side of the field.
This is Ian Kirk. That's a tremendous run from him. He bounced off one and he got as far as the next two in.
One of the differences that Leeds have made, though, strategically to last week is starting with Danny Badouas, the number 9 who just intercepted that ball. Will there be any difference here now with him in the beginning phase rather than disking? Good pass out wide there to Sinfield.
Indeed, and Sinfield with a little drop of the shoulder, he goes inside Paul King, but the reinforcements were there in the shape of Dale Ferguson. He managed just to put the lead skipper off, and on the bounce it gets its way untidily to Brent Webb.
There's a problem also for the little scrum half, Rob Barrow.
Here is Senior. Strength from Keith Senior, his 320th appearance, 330th appearance rather for Leeds tonight. Burrow's kick is poor, straight into the arms of Sam Obst.
Nice little run as well. As I say, just had attention just before he put that kick in, and that's silly play.
Ryan Hall, he had a second push and then he had a third. There's the second and there's the third.
You know, the lack of discipline sometimes with these professional players really surprises me. I know that they can get nervous and the tension is building up. It's a big day for them, but they've got to concentrate all the time.
The emphasis, Mike, really is to control the tackle. If the player loses collision, they really do get tempted to go back on and squeeze just to try and slow the play of the ball down a fraction and invariably get it wrong.
Leolatu again finds Paul King. He stands in the initial challenge from Bailey, but goes down under the pressure of the next man in, that was Jamie Peacock. Jeffries, and movement then from Kevin Henderson. Leolatu again, centre field for Wakefield in this Leeds half. They're really taking the game to the champions, aren't they?
They certainly are, and the combination of Jeffries and Sam Obst at the half-back positions. They're working well. Again. Jeffries got away.
Gets it to Leolatu. He ducks under one challenge, gets it then out. And a great tackle by Sinfield to halt Aaron Murphy. This is the last here for Wakefield. Back he comes to Jeffries. Ball floated out wide looking for Damien Blanche. Blanche has got it! And Blanche will go underneath the posts and put the ball down for Wakefield's second try. The referee hasn't given it yet. He wants to hand it upstairs again to video referee Phil Bentham.
Well, there's two, perhaps. He's looking for the offside. I think he's okay. And he certainly doesn't interfere, Rob Barrow. But it was a good pinpoint kick, wasn't it? He could see that the injured Rob Barrow had drifted out into the wing position. There's a difference in size and height, and boy, doesn't Blanche make it so simple. He's going for the football. It's anybody's ball there, and you can see that Barrow is walking down. I don't think Blanche should be... This has got to be a try, surely.
Well, Blanche isn't the tallest player in the Wakefield side, but he's head and shoulders taller than Rob Burrow. Didn't look anything wrong with it, and the try is given. And it's behind the sticks, the kick to come, and Wakefield are going to be 12-0 up in a minute. Well, an unbelievable start. Damien Blanche, the Irish international, tries in all 4 of the last league and cup games for Wakefield. They've all been lost as well.
But this is smart thinking there from Ben Jeffries. He can see that they've had to push Rob Barrow because he's not fully fit. Picked up a knock just a few seconds before this, and they have paid the price. Maybe they should have done the substitution a little bit earlier. They are doing that now, but it's a little bit too late. Jeffries is going to add the extra 2, surely.
Damien Blanche, he picked the ball off the fingertips of Rob Burrow, who immediately is leaving the field injured. Chris Clarkson has come on in his place, and Ben Jeffries from bang under the sticks is going to make it 12-0. It is. The champions trailing at Murrayfield.
It's always a risk when you put an injured player out there that didn't have the opportunity to substitute, but Blanche has made sure he got the height, he got the snaffle, and he had the wherewithal to go right underneath, make it easy for the conversion. 12-0. It's been a day of shock so far.
Well, we had the first 2 as shocks, the last one wasn't, but this could be the biggest of them all. There's a long way to go yet. We're not a quarter of an hour into the match. Down to Bill, news of Burrow.
Yeah, it's not good news for the Leeds Rhinos as well, because Rob Burrow we saw getting treated on the field, and it looks like the left knee that's the problem. He's being manipulated at the moment, really down on the sidelines, and down is just the mood it seems to be in the Leeds camp, and just a little bit at the moment after the start they'd had. Thought they got the perfect start. Burrow, though, the try disallowed, and now he's on the sidelines.
Yes, an amazing opening quarter of an hour to this, the 4th match of this Magic Weekend. And just a word or two about the crowd in here today. I said right at the start of the event that if they were still here come the start of this match, the crowd would be really, really brave, because it's a chilly old day here in Scotland's capital. But the crowd has stayed with this event right the way through from start to finish. People have moved in, people have moved out, of course. And there is a second day to come tomorrow, and needless to say, plenty of tickets, plenty of seats available if you fancy coming along, and if you fancy taking a look at Super League in the Roar up here in Scotland. It's a tremendous occasion.
Certainly is, and they've got value for money as well. We've had some sensational rugby league football.
More here from Badiris, a great scampering run from dummy half.
They needed something like that. He will lead the way, but they've got to make sure that they keep this ball alive. Kick to the corner.
Looking for the big man out there. It's dropped, but I think they have managed to ground that ball, and it will be a goal line dropout. They have Dimitri to the rescue. Luke George, had he claimed this, it would have been a tap on the 20. But that's a flick back by Lee Smith.
Good play by Smith as well. You can see he deliberately knocks it through, and then Luke George just loses possession. And Dimitri very, very quick indeed.
Well, dropout.
There's a very good reason, Eddie, why the Leeds Rhinos are the champions. They hold their nerve more than anyone else over the past 2 or 3 years under pressure. They're under it at the moment, some worrying signs on them previous sets. Injuries to the key 3.
And what's more, they've now coughed up the football, and Ben Jeffries has got it back for Wakefield. Well, they're slightly out of kilter this year in Super League, the Leeds Rhinos, aren't they? You know, a lot of people are wondering whether, given their erratic start to the league season, whether they are distracted by the chance of getting to Wembley this year. They've not been down to the Wembley final, the final at Wembley, for 11 years. And people think that they are hell-bent on getting there this year. It would be a shame if they do that at the expense of getting back to Old Trafford.
Well, I don't think they're thinking that way, Eddie. It's mainly due to the fact that they're proud champions, have been there and been the champions for 3 years on the trot. But they're going to have to lift their game if they want to have any idea of going back to Old Trafford.
That wasn't the best kick from Wakefield. Brent Webb was able to pick it up easily, and then was almost wheelbarrowed forward about 6 or 7 metres by the Wakefield defenders. But they're really getting stuck in, Wakefield, aren't they?
They certainly are, and they really want this. They're up for it. And it's a little bit reminiscent of last week, and they've lost possession yet again, though it looks as though it's been stolen.
I think what we've seen in the first half of this season, Eddie, is more sides take it to Leeds when they've played them. Really asked them. They've been the champions for 3 years, okay, and they've lifted, and that's made life more difficult for Leeds here. Life's a bit easier with the penalty that they've been awarded. But it's a great test here now, a quarter of the way through this match, 12 points down that they wouldn't have expected in their minds, to work their way back into it. Rob Burrows had a small injury, and they're playing against an aggressive, pumped-up team.
Clarkson gets to his feet and plays the ball. Here is Jamie Jones Buchanan. That's the second tackle. Shouts the referee, Thierry Alibert. Good run from Maguire. Johnson was in there very quickly. So too was Sean Gleeson. Badeiras feeds Bailey.
And again, strong defence by the Wildcats.
Yeah, the Wildcats have conceded a penalty, though, 3 yards away from their own line. King was entangled with Ryan Bailey.
Bailey did well. He realised that King was off balance, so he just strode through, knew he would get the penalty.
This is Peacock.
Shimmy from Badeiras. Will he go on his own?
This now is Maguire. He gets it to Kirk, and Kirk is a big man, but they managed to hold him the right side of the try line. Badeiras waits for the Rhinos. Scampers away, pops the ball up then for his captain, Kevin Sinfield. They've repelled the ballers for 3 tackles, have the Wildcats. It's with Peacock.
Whoa,
Peacock, well,
that's obstruction. That'll be a penalty. Oh no! He raised the arm, did Thierry Alibert.
Badeiras again fires the pass back to Maguire, gets the kick in, the ball bounces everywhere. The touch judge is on over on the far side.
Looks like someone was taken out.
It's a penalty to Leeds.
Well, the optimistic Leeds fans may have shouted for a penalty try there, Eddie. The kick did go through, and a man was taken out.
Bailey will drive it in again for Leeds. This is sustained pressure from the champions. Trailing 12-0, looking to get back in the match. Maguire and Webb and Senior and Hall, they must be in. Oh, the corner post has gone over. The referee's happy, though, in consultation with his touch judge. And Ryan Hall has got the champions up and running at last. He made his Leeds debut, this fellow, on Magic Weekend in Cardiff in 2007, and he ran in 2 tries last year in the victory against the Catalan Dragons for Brian McLennan. Ryan Hall, the try scorer. Champions are on the board.
Just shows you what quick hands can do, and it certainly flicked across. Here's the kick. There's the obstruction. He was held back. Luke George was the culprit. You can see the touch heads on at that point, and then they just did the quick hands right across the line. And this is wonderful stuff from Senior. Just drags them across. Nothing they could do about it. Such a big frame. The winger Ryan Hall. You could see that the winger had come out of his pocket.
Yes, Ryan Hall, he's got a phenomenal try-scoring record. 56 tries now. This is his 70th appearance for the Rhinos. And Kevin Sinfield has got a pretty good record with the boot as well. Almost 2,500 points now for Kevin Sinfield. 27 goals this season. It stays at 27 goals this season, but importantly for Leeds, they have actually got over the whitewash. 12-4 Wakefield.
It's always a big problem. There you see Damien Blanche circled. He's come right out of his pocket. And as soon as Senior got this, he knew that he'd squeeze him in the corner. Great try, but John Keir will not be impressed with the way that Blanche came out away from the whitewash.
Mike, remember back to the game, I think, Hull versus Harlequins, and we said about that tackle from Will Sharp. Come flying in and took out Craig Hall. It's a matter of fractions and inches, isn't it? He made that one. Blanche attempted the same thing, got it wrong, try scored in the corner.
Deep kick off into the arms of the try scorer Ryan Hall. Well, that will at least give the champions a lift, Phil, won't it?
Yes, it will, and I think probably you'd have to say they still have some question marks over the confidence. The reason that they were put on the backsides and embarrassed last week, and they were 12 points to 0 down here. Things haven't quite gone their way, so I think they've lost their air of vulnerability now. There's certainly people know that you can beat Leeds, you can take them on, and you can beat them.
Well, they will come into this match, the Rhinos, knowing that the Wildcats have lost the last 4 and 5 of the last 6. Their only win in the sequence was a 19-6 home defeat of Castleford on Good Friday. That's a good kick, though. That's a great kick. And Murphy to work, try and move it back, but in first was Chris Clarkson, the back rower at under-20s level. Made his debut on the wing against Hull Kingston Rovers. He was in the centre against Wigan.
Just get a sense now that the Rhinos have upped the tempo. They're getting out of the line very, very quickly. You can see there Ryan Bailey leading the way.
It does have a cup-tie feel about it, this game, though, doesn't it? It seems all... I mean, this is my first venture outside. I've been in the studio since about 11 o'clock this morning. But it seems to me that this is being played at a much quicker pace than a few of the others.
The tempo is far greater. Disappointment from those 2 top 8 sides in the first 2 games. Didn't really come and start the game as they should have done. Warrington far too good for Salford. This one looks like it's going to be a real competition.
And I've little doubt in my mind that John Keir, the Wakefield coach, would have mentioned that top sides in the first 2 games got brushed away with some fantastic football.
Well, there is John Keir, who of course knows what it's like to beat Leeds on the big occasion. He did so with Hull in that Challenge Cup final I mentioned, and he was actually the assistant coach to Wigan when they won the cup here on this very ground. So Murrayfield's been quite kind to John Keir. Leeds, though, looking to try and get through this pretty solid Wakefield defence.
And that's why John Keir will feel that he's confident that they can come up with a win today, but they've got to make sure the defence.
Wonderful break from Kirk. He's got Ryan Hall, and here is Brent Webb, and the champions fighting back. 2 tries in quick succession for the champions, and Brent Webb crowns his comeback. He has missed the last 3. Or rather, he's missed last week. St Helens, his second absence of the year. He got 2 tries the week before that at Hull. The New Zealand international, the Leeds fans on their feet. Brent Webb's 4th try of the campaign. And he knows what it's like to score at this event, as you can see.
And a pretty good try as well. Beautiful play by Kirk. He's got that ability, hasn't he, to be able to get round the would-be tackler and then offload. And that's what every fullback should be doing, trailing back on the inside. But the pass from Kirk to Ryan Hall was outstanding. I'm not so sure he picked up an injury here, Brent Webb.
When Leeds have been in trouble in the last 5 years, they've done one thing consistently. That's go to the left-hand side, because whether it be Keith Senior or the men inside or outside of him, they've come up with points. Twice in this game here now, in the last few minutes, they've shifted the ball to the left-hand side, and twice it's got them over the line.
I think, Bill, as well, you're absolutely right. What's happened now that Rob Burrow has left the field, Danny Maguire swapped from the right-hand side to come to the left, just to keep banging away at that left edge because they're so powerful. Beautiful ball from Maguire. He got a one-on-one, a mismatch, the big second row of Kirk against Ben Jeffries, and he walked straight through him.
Yeah, it was typical, and he's making a good habit of this, is the big fella Kirk. He's impressed me this season, but that's great support play, isn't it? Lance tried his damnedest to knock the ball from his grasp. Failed.
Brent Webb's try, it was improved by Kevin Sinfield. It's 10-12 suddenly. Leeds very much back in the contest. And Luke Burgess is out there for the champions. There he is, his first touch as a replacement for Ryan Bailey. Leeds with a tremendous record against Wakefield over the years. They've won 24 of 28 Super League meetings since 1999. 3 of those Wakefield 4 wins have come at Headingley. And Leeds have topped 40 points in 7 of those 24 wins. But they were given a real shock early here, weren't they, by Wakefield? They went into that 12-0 lead. They have clawed their way back into the game, though, now, the Rhinos. And here goes Badiris again. Last tackle here for Leeds. Sinfield in at dummy half. Will hoist the kick high. And diagonal across field. But that's easy for Murphy. Diffused behind his own goal line. It's a tap restart. The referee wants a controlled restart. Now they can get going.
Well, full credit to the Rhinos, they had to dig deep, losing the talented little halfback Rob Burrow, but I must say, the combination of having Keith Senior on the left-hand side, along with the long striding second row Ian Kirk, they're putting a lot of pressure on Wakefield down their right-hand side in defence, and of course that's where Ben Jeffries parks himself. There's a problem with Rob.
Yes, Rob Burrow cutting a disconsolate little figure on the bench. But Wakefield with Jeffries looking for more. Sean Gleeson inside Kirk. Eventually cut down on tackle number 4. Good job that Medeiros was there. Here's Jeffries again. Jeffries with a little dink down the line behind Ryan Hall.
Tremendous play by the winger Hall. Anticipated coming down that short side, got himself back very, very quickly indeed. Now then, can they get their defence sorted out?
Expansive play from Leeds near their own line. That's good defence from Luke George. He's over the line.
Tremendous stuff.
That really is first-class defence, because when they were in this corner on the other side of the field, Wakefield compressed in to about 50%. Leeds read it, shifted the ball, they slid across with a purpose, and they pushed them into touch. It doesn't get much better than that.
No, it's a perfect sliding defence, that is for sure.
You know, Wakefield going into a 12-0 lead, they will know, as we all do, having watched the 3 games so far, the team that scored first in this Magic Weekend has gone on to win the match, and so far we haven't seen a team come from behind and claim the 2 points. I wonder if Leeds will be able to do that here, but this is Sam Hobbs. It's a lovely little run.
Beautiful dummy, just darted off his right foot.
No, an untidy play, the ball. And here is Leo Latu.
I'm not surprised, there was a league player lying all over him. Surely that could have been a penalty.
This is Jeffries though now. And a quick play the ball from him to Paul Johnson. Johnson re-establishes a bit of daylight between the 2 sides. He was on the wing in Wigan's 2002 Challenge Cup final win here against St Helens. Paul Johnson, now he's in the second row of the pack, the former Great Britain international. Tremendous try. Wakefield taking this game to them.
And it all came about by getting the youngster Clarkson over the whitewash, got themselves into a good position, but this is sloppy play and defensive. Very poor indeed to allow a second rower to dance, run on the angle and then spin around. They were very slow to pick it up. As soon as Burgess started to go for him, Johnson knew as soon as he twisted.
What an important try for Paul Johnson, his first in Wakefield's colours. 5 grand finals for that fellow, a 15-year Super League veteran, 2 wins with Wigan and Bradford. And a very important try here at the Magic Weekend at Murrayfield. Jeffries with the opportunity then to maintain this 100% goal-kicking record he's got so far. And he's done exactly that. Leeds 10, Wakefield 18.
When you take it back to your, look at that, you can't afford to do that. And by the time it's turned away, Johnson's in. They're not talking to each other, this Leeds defence. And the second row of Paul Johnson took full advantage of that.
13 times he played for his country, Paul Johnson. So, the champions behind by 8 points again. This is Richard Moore for Wakefield.
We're talking coaching about try-line defence, about don't lose your eyes, and that's an example of it. If you turn and show your back, you can't see the play, the ball, you can't read the play, you can't anticipate, you're asking to be run at. And Paul Johnson isn't going to miss an opportunity like that.
And not only that, his fellow players could see that he was out of the position, so they try to get themselves into it, and they're off balance. You pay the price. Well, Sam Hobbs, he couldn't get his head out of the way.
Yes. Yeah, right in between Keith Senior's legs. He's only about waist high on Keith Senior anyway. Here he is again. Oh, that came off Danny Maguire. Now, is he going to be adjudged to have made a play for this? Yes. He is.
Well, Danny Maguire is appealing to the Frenchman. Uncle Alibert. Well, I think he tried to get away from it, but the mere fact that he's moving his feet obviously is convinced.
Well, he's not only that, he has now said something out of turn to Thierry Alibert, and Wakefield have got the penalty.
You know, it has been a problem in the past for Leeds. They seem to go through all this period throughout the season, maybe once or twice, where they lose the cool, they start chatting to the referee instead of concentrating on the job in hand. Ooh,
Here goes Johnson again. Leo Latu is the man in at dummy half. Wakefield threatening this Leeds line again with Richard Moore. Just held up short. It took 4 men to bring him down. Leo Latu will come down this side. Johnson tries to get it out to Damien Blanche. Another try for Wakefield. Damien Blanche, second try of the match for him. John Keir, the man for the big occasion, and Damien Blanche, the Irish international, and Leeds all at sea in defence, and paying the price for back-chatting the referee, conceding the penalty, conceding 20 metres, and Wakefield take full advantage.
Maguire complained to the official, and the official said, "I'm the boss, penalty." Okay, wasn't the best pass, but he flicked away, and Damien Blanche says, "I'm in at the corner here." Unbelievable there by Murphy. He put the winger in, and they are running riot at the moment.
6 tries in 5 matches now for Damien Blanche. He had a knee reconstruction last year, been out for 11 months, missed the start of this season's come back, and has come up to Murrayfield and has run in 2 tries. Well, the one thing that you can say that is predictable about Super League in 2010 is its sheer unpredictability. Ben Jeffries, most difficult kick of the game so far, and he's just failed with that one. Loses his 100% record, but look at the scoreline. It's Leeds 10, Wakefield 22.
And again, when you get a 2-on-1, there you can see Ryan Hall has come off it. Blanche all on his own. Maybe a little bit touch fortunate to get that pass away as it dipped to the ground. It could have gone anywhere. Oh, that was good stuff, wasn't it? Gleeson it was that got the fingertip to ensure that Blanche squeezed in at the corner.
Could be out on the full. It is out on the full. Well, Leeds, I'm afraid, are at 6s and 7s.
Well, they appear to have lost the plot, especially with that. He's so reliable normally, isn't he? Kevin Sinfield. And there'll be no rush, Wakefield.
Interesting, they've tapped
Took the
that.
tap, yeah.
There's a swirling wind. Actually, they're playing with the majority of the wind at their backs in this first half, Wakefield. But it's a very wide field, this, very wide arena. Difficult
like
for the kickers to judge. There's the wind.
Maybe it doesn't help them, though, Eddie, because as the wind...
swirls around, doesn't
yeah,
it?
but the stand is so high, maybe it doesn't have that much effect. Oh, that's
What a run! What a run from Leo Latu! What a try for Leo Latu! Wakefield are taking Leeds apart. Tavita, Leo Latu, they didn't go for length on the penalty. They took a tap penalty on the halfway line. There was maybe in an earlier tackle the suggestion of a possible knock-on. It wasn't seen by referee or touch judges, and Tavita, Leo Latu, just went through the middle of the Leeds defence like a hot knife through butter. This is unbelievable. They're 26-10 up, and there's a kick to come.
Well, you can't believe it, Eddie, and it all came from the kick-off here, out on the full, put them in that position. I was shocked that they didn't go for the touchline. This fella isn't, but Brian McLennan, we've been looking at this again and again and again and say this is horror. That was shocking defence. Watch this. Again, can you see the players turning their backs? You can't afford to do that. Luke Burgess it was that turned his back on that occasion. while Leo Latu is all away. That should have been a knock-on. It was not picked up. It was Bibb that couldn't control it. They had the little slice of luck. Jeffries, can he add the 2?
Yes, he can. And it's 28 points to 10 in Wakefield's favour. The hint of a knock-on, perhaps by Kyle Bibb, although it went forward first and then came off his thigh and went backwards. It was his own thigh. It wasn't another player. So it went backwards, I suppose, when it hit the deck. So
oh, that's good play.
Short kick-off by Sinfield. Quick thinking from the Leeds captain.
John Kidd will be furious about that, though.
We've got a little snapshot of Brian McLennan as this game is just about to be restarted. He looks a worried man.
But wasn't that a great sign then from Kevin Sinfield? When it's all going wrong all around you, he goes to kick off, throws in a very, very risky play and comes up with the goods.
Ian Kirk's causing all sorts of problems down this right-hand side of the Wakefield defence. They dealt with the threat then, thanks to Paul Johnson. There's Diskin. This is Webb. Short ball from him. It's Burgess. Offside. Offside underneath the sticks. 2 feet, says the referee, behind the line. That's why Wakefield have been pinged. Here goes Luke Ambler. And Luke Ambler forced back into the field of play. The posts are swaying after he collided with them.
Only seconds remaining. They really do need a fillip. They've got to get a try if they can, but that's pretty solid defence.
Look at the way that Wakefield are defending.
Not only that, Richard Moore way out on that left-hand side, and that's great from Moore yet again. That's enthusiasm.
Here now is Maguire. He'll go to the line, but he is cut down in the tackle by Paul Johnson. 2 tackles remaining. Webb gets it away to Senior. Senior to Ryan Hall. They're in again, the Rhinos.
Great work.
Ryan Hall, second try of the night for him. The hooter sounds in the background for the end of the first half. We'll have to have the conversion, of course, from Kevin Sinfield. Ryan Hall injured in the act of scoring that try. Up to 9 now for 2010. There's a problem there for him. There's a problem for Brian McLennan and Leeds, but at least they will take that Ryan Hall try into the dressing room with them at half-time, and there's something to build on for the champions in the second half.
Fully deserved. And it all came about from that little kick-off, didn't it, from Sinfield? Went over the 10-yard line. Good service from Senior and Ryan Hall. And the time was up. The 40 minutes had been played, but Ryan Hall has maybe just given the Rhinos a little bit of encouragement for the second half, though it looks as though he's picked up an injury.
Yes, it was bravery from Hall above and beyond the call of duty. He went low and he was clattered after the ball was put down. Purely accidental, as the Wakefield defence desperately tried to keep him out. Sinfield then to add this conversion if he can. A vital kick. Oh, he's good, isn't he? Kevin Sinfield is good. And this is a great game. Leeds 16, Wakefield 28 at half-time. They were 12-0 up for Wakefield after 13 minutes. Then Leeds got back into the contest, 12-10. Then 3 Wakefield tries in 5 minutes. Johnson, Blanche and Leo Latu, and Hall right on the stroke of half-time. And the 2 extra points from the boot of Kevin Sinfield. We have got a match in our hands here. The final game of the Magic Weekend. It's a cracker. It's the final match of the Magic Weekend Day 1, and look at the scoreline. Wakefield at 28, Leeds Rhinos the champions 16. We've had a couple of shocks. Harlequins have won, the Crusaders have won. Warrington put Salford to the sword, but Wakefield beating the Leeds Rhinos 28-16 at half-time. Ryan Hall is fit to resume at the start of the second half, injured in scoring his second try of the first 40 minutes that has given Leeds hope for this second half. Kevin Sinfield about to get the game underway. Now in the second half, Leeds will have whatever benefit there is of the wind at their backs. Let's see if it makes any great difference. Here come Wakefield, and Leeds piling down from the kickoff. A lot of water to run under the bridge here at Murrayfield yet, Steve, over in this second half, and Leeds, they're just 2 converted tries out of it.
Yeah, and I think John Keir will be extremely disappointed at the fact, only seconds before that first half finished, that they allowed Ryan Hall to squeeze in at the corner. And I mentioned as they were traipsing off to the dressing rooms, in as much that, you know, it gives this Rhino outfit some hope, something to discuss at the half-time break. But John Keir is a smart cookie. He knows that Wakefield will play basic rugby league football, keep it tight, and get a good kick and chase game, which was very effective in the opening 20 minutes.
Well, there was the kick from Jeffries. There's the chase, but Webb evades them, but he's running laterally. Now he's running back, and he's lost ground there because Luke George and Sam Ops on him in an instant in the end. John Keir will have simply said at half-time, look, more of the same in this second half. Outstanding first 40 minutes from the Wildcats.
And at the same reasoning, Brian McLennan would have said to his players, look, some of that defence was pretty shocking. They allowed the Wakefield Wildcats to spin and turn in the tackle and get out of the defensive line.
Good run from Delaney, halted by Johnson again. Dimitri was low down. This is the last tackle here for Leeds. There's the kick from Sinfield. Arrows the ball towards the corner post.
That's a great recovery, Eddie. Great recovery from the Leeds Rhinos on that first set. Brent Webb actually going sideways and backwards. Not a good sign. Completion. Outstanding kick from Kevin Sinfield, playing the Wakefield Wildcats at their right end of the field.
You've been talking, Paul, throughout this day about completion, complete your sets, go for territory. Do you think that's what Brian McLennan has said to Leeds to start this second half? Play them at the other end of the field and see where it takes us.
2 tries adrift, 40 minutes to do it. You don't have to score in the first set, but what you can't do is give the ball away and give away too much field position. So if you give any gifts to Wakefield, Johnny Keir's going to snap them up.
This is Aaron Murphy again. And Clarkson, Chris Clarkson and Ian Kirk doing the job on him. And of course Leeds continuing in this match without the little pivot Rob Burrow. Let's see what the news on him is. Bill.
He won't be coming back, Eddie. Rob Burrow sitting on the sidelines. He's back in his tracksuit. Just a quick word with him a moment ago, and look of resignation on his face. That left knee, the bang he got earlier in the game is a problem. Exactly what sort of problem they won't let on, but they're just saying he's got a bang on the knee, but it's obviously sufficient to keep him out the rest of the game, which is a blow given the way he'd started off. Real live wire for the Rhinos early on, Rob Burrow.
He certainly was. It's a big responsibility now on the shoulders of the likes of, well, Jamie Peacock when he gets back on, but Danny Maguire and company. But Wakefield in no mood to let this lead slip. Dimitriou's kick finds touch just. And I'll tell you something else, Steve-O. Tavita Leolatu is causing chaos.
Certainly is. He's such a big man as well, and difficult to put down, but you mentioned that Brian McLennan would have been most upset with some of the defensive qualities at certain times, and they've got to muscle up at the Rhinos pack. They've got to be a little bit more aggressive.
They've won just one of 3 previous Magic Weekend matches, have Wakefield. 2008 in Cardiff, they beat Castleford, their nearest rivals, 54-16. They lost to Huddersfield in 2007, and they lost to Bradford here last year. But they have won the first half against the champions, and they're defending that 12-point lead right now as Jamie Jones-Buchanan takes it forward for the Rhinos. They're still not over the halfway line, but now they are with Diskin, and Diskin has a run, gets a beautiful pass away to Maguire. Maguire puts the ball on the deck, gets the kick in. It was not the best, and Luke George is able to gobble up the possession.
And that just shows you what pressure can do. Diskin, a beautiful run through, nice flick off as well. And Maguire, real panic. Should have been support there to make sure that it was a good kick and chase. We saw it earlier that Sinfield put it right into the corner. That would have been the tactics by Brian McLennan at half-time, and he does not like it one bit.
Interesting from the Leeds Rhinos. Leo Latu, I think he's having one of his best games for the Wakefield Wildcats. Leeds are sending an awful lot of traffic right down the middle channels. They're making him do tackle after tackle, just trying to take a little bit of edge off him.
Here's Ben Jeffries, he's been impressive too. Now this is Jason Dimitriou, met by Luke Burgess and Luke Ambler.
Got to be a good kick and chase here from the Wildcats.
Jeffries gets the kick in. Not the best, is it? No,
Not
it's
on
out
the
on the full.
He raises the arm, says he's very, very sorry. But John Keir knows that that really should have been driven into the ground. Try to force the error. They've got to be patient, though, Eddie. Leeds have to be patient. Okay, they're behind on the scoreboard, but they know that they've got the quality. They've got the firepower out wide, and that's good work.
Great work by Luke Ambler. And he's got the penalty, what's more.
Yeah, went too high.
You know, it's almost 40 years to the day since the most famous meeting on a neutral ground. It's actually almost 42 years to the day, because it was May 1968 when the Challenge Cup was staged between Leeds and Wakefield. Leeds won it 11-10. Don Fox missed the goal in the last second. It was a game that is written large in rugby league folklore, and whenever you talk about Leeds and Wakefield, all the fans remember that final, nicknamed the Water Splash Final, and Don Fox never really recovered from the last second miss. But here now comes Chris Clarkson again. Oh, has he got that down?
How on earth has a youngster got it down? But he has. There was 4 would-be defenders all around him.
And he believes he scored this.
So do I.
I don't think there's any doubt seeing that.
That is a wonderful effort. Look at that. There's 4 would-be players trying to stop him, and he says, I'll just wriggle out. Well, that is amazing. Clarkson has scored a vital try. They had the numbers there, did Wakefield, but nobody went for the ball carrying arm. This will be confirmation, and it is TRY.
Yes, Phil Bentham says the try for Chris Clarkson. And Chris Clarkson gets the try that just could reignite the Leeds challenge here.
Should have been stopped. There you see the high tackle from Tabita Leolatu. Got them into the position, but this should have been prevented. When you've got so many people there, and to allow the youngster, it was a great effort, spinning through, upper body strength. He had to really, really fight for it, and then he said, well, they've let me go.
No hint of a double movement. The ball carrying arm didn't hit the ground. Sinfield doesn't miss those. Leeds back in contention once again, 22-28. Chris Clarkson's first ever try in the Super League, his first ever try for the Leeds Rhinos, the former East Leeds amateur. And Brian McLennan, although he doesn't look any happier, he must surely be after that great effort from 20-year-old Chris Clarkson.
And it just shows you that the poor king from Wakefield that went out on the full really should have been dragging the Rhinos back into their own defensive quarter. They failed to do that, gave Leeds the position. But that was a fine effort by Chris Clarkson.
Time off. 12 points for the Rhinos, either side of half-time. Game on, 28-22 to Wakefield. They kick off. Here comes Luke Burgess. Good run from Burgess. Broke the first 2 would-be tacklers, couldn't get away from the next man in. Here's Peacock, he's come back to add his considerable strength.
I think Wakefield's ability to defend in the middle of the field will determine whether or not they win this game, Eddie. There's an inability to defend because they've conceded a penalty. And I think the biggest improvement between Wakefield today and over the last month has been the guys in the middle who've defended and held back and be able to control the Leeds players, but they couldn't control Jamie Peacock. And this will be the test here now in the remaining half an hour of this match. They may score the tries out wide, Leeds, but it'll be the effort and intensity and pressure that they pose in the middle of the field that will determine the winner.
That's good work in defence against the run from Ian Kirk by Johnson and Paul King. And
Good work by Diskin, he's got it.
He noticed they weren't standing square.
He poached the penalty there. Great to see, quick thinking. Ran straight at Johnson, knew that he was going to get the penalty. That'll give him an extra 30 metres downfield.
He just invited the challenge, didn't he? And Johnson couldn't resist.
You can see there that the skipper, Kevin Sinfield, barking out the orders. They'll probably take 2 drives and then it'll be the link.
More hard yards gained up front by Jamie Peacock. This is Diskin. Here is Maguire, pops it up to Burgess. Luke Burgess gets away from the first tackler again. 4 men there needed to bring Luke Burgess down. Diskin once again fires the pass to Brent Webb. Webb then, oh, that's a gift to Ben Jeffries. Ben Jeffries has got the entire Leeds team after him, and Ben Jeffries is winning the race.
Well, he knows he hasn't got the legs, but he did the right thing to hang on, and that should be a penalty. Well, Maguire held the leg down, and that should have been picked up by the official. He knows he's got away with it. Those vital seconds allowed the Rhinos to get their defence back into position. That's ridiculous how the official has not picked up on that.
This is Korkidas now for Wakefield. That's tackle number 4. 10 minutes of this second half gone. Real contest to end the first day of the Magic Weekend. Good hands. Here's Demetriou. Good tackle by Sinfield, that. Now Jeffries. Will he float the kick wide again? Yes, he does. Looking for Damien Blanche. Ball has bounced for Cade Senior.
They got the numbers there. It was a good kick right into the corner, but Leeds definitely got the numbers. Oh, that's a beautiful play by Maguire.
Grounded by Korkidas. He plays it to Hall. Hall then with the pass to Senior, takes the return.
The one thing that Leeds have upped the tempo on, and that's trying to get the ball played as quickly as possible. John Keir is fully aware of this. You can see how the Wakefield defence is coming out very quickly out wide. They're trying to force Leeds down that single channel, down the middle.
The Peacock will do that all night. Burgess again. Good hit by Paul King. Last tackle, Leeds still in their own half. Looking for the kick here from Sinfield. Good kick too. And Murphy will run it back for Wakefield. Gets away from Delaney. Good ground made forward by the young fullback, Aaron Murphy. Luke George now.
Yeah, he's been impressive this season, hasn't he, Aaron Murphy? He gets himself in a good position, learning all the time.
Dale Morton plays the ball. Bailey with the tackle. It was on James Davey, as well as James Davey and, of course, Dale Morton. John Keir has also brought a couple of the other junior players, the youngsters, to just experience and sample this Murrayfield atmosphere and the atmosphere of the Magic Weekend. There's a penalty to Wakefield for a ball steal, 2 in the tackle.
Yeah, Diskin was always getting that football. 2 attached to the big frame of King.
Interesting here. Diskin penalised. They have elected to kick for goal, Wakefield.
Well, maybe some similarities to when Wigan kicked at goal against Harlequins last week. They had a lead and it ended up being a turning point perhaps in the match. Harlequins fought back and eventually overhauled them.
Just a sign there that they're probably short of a little bit of breath. You nailed it early on, Phil. They've been battered, Wakefield, in the middle channels. They don't quite look that confident at the minute, but they won't go away, will they? They're not going to give this game up. It's blow for blow. 2 teams, comparable in their league position, and they're fighting tooth and nail in this one. A clear signal would have been then to have a quick tap and try and put Leeds under pressure, but they've just gone to get a little bit of security on the scoreboard.
How vital would a win for Wakefield be, and a 3-point gap between them and the champions at this stage of the season, the halfway mark?
I think far more important for Wakefield to win than Leeds. Leeds are just coming back. You can get that kind of feel, can't you, about it? Wakefield are more desperate to win this game, I think, than the Leeds Rhinos.
Jeffries has pouched the 2 points, much to the delight of the Wakefield supporters behind those posts. It's 30 points to 22.
Well, that's great respect that John Keir, the coach, has offered the Rhinos. Take the opportunity. They haven't had much possession in the Leeds half in this second stanza, and maybe I think that he got it right there. We'll take the 2.
Doesn't he love John Keir? Doesn't he love to upset the glamour pusses of Super League? He really does, doesn't he? Well, I'm not just saying that Leeds are the only glamour puss team, by the way.
No, I understand.
He would do exactly the same if it was Wigan, Warrington or whoever.
Yeah, and he just has this wonderful knack, John Keir. I know he gets a bit irritated with me when I keep saying to him he's an old-fashioned style of coach. Well, he is, and he demands a lot of respect, and I think that that's something that they've shown Wakefield today.
Only the 3rd time in 2010 that Wakefield have hit the 30-point mark in a Super League match. Paul King gets them over halfway, spins and offloads in the tackle. That's good defence, though, on show from Brett Delaney there. Obbs was the dummy half. Korkidas has run strongly, as he has been in this match. As strong as I've ever seen him run, actually, this season. Playing well.
Yeah, sometimes he runs a bit hot and cold, and that's a charge,
down. It'd be 6 to go. Aaron Murphy has the ball and a bit of space ahead of him.
Well, has he called a 6 again?
Yes,
I think he has, yeah.
Yes, he did. So Davey was the dummy half on that occasion. That was Jeffries. He got it away to Demetriou, I think that is.
This will be no frills by the forwards. Take it through. Then the likes of Jeffries and Sam Obst will provide the link. Probably King will take another drive.
Solid run from Kevin Henderson. Good work at marker again by Ian Kirk. Here's Paul King up the middle, short ball to Korkidas. He keeps the legs pumping, going for the line.
They were lucky there. That certainly looked forward to me.
Last tackle here for Wakefield.
Kick into the in goal. That's what they need.
Obst. Sliced back off Luke George. Obst again. Obst dabs it forward. Came off the chest of Bailey. It's play on. Leeds have got it back.
Well, maybe the wrong option, the chip over the top. It's more awkward to try to get to if you just shove it into the corner, and Korkidas has been caught down for holding the man, trying to get up and play the ball. It was a good tap back, though, by Luke George, but Ops could not drag it in.
Well, easy yards forward for the champions there from that penalty conceded by Korkidas. 9-6 the penalty count now in the champions' favour. 56 minutes of the match gone. There's an 8-point ball game. Leeds won't be panicking, though. They've got plenty of time. It's with Maguire.
And they've got plenty of talent as well. Who's having to take the pivot role now is Danny Maguire, and got to be a little bit more aggressive, though, in the forward play. They've got to try to punch through.
It's Ian Kirk, and Ian Kirk gets a penalty. Again, it's Korkidas who has been caught by the referee. Interference at the play of the ball once again.
Well,
Kirk wanting to get on with it.
It wouldn't surprise me if John Keir sends a message out and says, we're going to substitute you. That's 2 silly penalties. It's allowed Leeds to go about 60 metres downfield.
Indeed so. Look where they are now. Here's Ian Kirk again. He's run really strongly all day. The man who set up the first-minute try for Lee Smith last week. Here's Ryan Bailey now for the champions. That's the try line that Wakefield are defending. That's how close the Leeds Rhinos are. Diskin's the man at dummy half. It'll come back to Sinfield. Oh, and Jamie Jones-Buchanan went the wrong way. Lost a little bit of ground there on the third tackle. Sinfield once again. Here is Delaney. He'll drive it in, will Brett Delaney. Try against St Helens last week was his third in the last 4 Super League matches. Diskin to Jamie Peacock. Grounded on the last. 2 metres short of the line. Diskin, Sinfield, quick hands, Webb. Hoists it high looking for Lee Smith. Finds Lee Smith. Oh, and a knock on by Delaney.
Just couldn't take it on the half volley.
Furious Brett Delaney. Slammed the ball into the turf then.
I don't think he'll be as furious as the coach, Brian McLennan, because he knows it's a golden opportunity. The Rhinos should have been camping down there.
Mike, if I was a Wakefield defender at that point, I'd have said, thank goodness that Brent Webb has stood back and kicked the ball. He's so dynamic and quick, powerful from a standing start, and they went, goodness me, it's in the air, we've got a chance.
This last week, so important to Leeds. Demetriou for Wakefield.
Good run as well.
Can King get them over halfway as they hit the last tackle? No, Leeds deny him that opportunity, but he's not far away from the halfway line. So now the kick will have to be good from Jeffries. It's not bad. It'll find the ground, will it? No, Brent Webb saw to that. And he'll run it back with interest. Oh, tremendous tackle by Damien Blanche.
Tackle of the day. Poor Brent Webb said, what's coming at me?
It was a Wakefield bus. Here's Lee Smith. Tremendous tackle from Damien Blanche.
Certainly was, wasn't it?
And he really did come alive. He set the World Cup alight, didn't he, 2008. Peacock for the Irish, of course. Last tackle here for Leeds. They're on halfway. Diskin, Maguire rather, just drifts the ball over the top. Hacks it forward again. Was he taken out?
Yeah,
no.
He'll get the penalty, was it? No, he said play on.
He says play on.
Well, that was crafty work there by Danny Maguire. I think he tried to con the referee.
Yeah, I think he went for the penalty, didn't he? He looked to try and kid the ref.
The number of Wakefield players, though, back here on the second kick is very impressive. Even if he got to the ball, it would have been difficult for him to score. There were so many white shirts desperate for that ball when it went over with the first chip, and it was just as much as so on the second one. Look at them. They're all pushing hard to make sure that they're the first ones to it. But like you say, there doesn't feel like a cup atmosphere, a sudden death approach to this match. And Wakefield have that desperation to win it.
Yes, they do. That Maguire little piece of genius reminded me of the genius we saw last year from Thomas Bosc in the south of France when he chipped over the defensive line twice to score. It was a sensational try from Bosc. We almost saw a repeat of it then. That wasn't the best kick from Jeffries, and here comes Ryan Hall.
Well, that's a second kick downfield by the Wildcats where the chase has been poor. Now that indicates to me that quite a few of the players are running out of gas. It's going to be vital. We've just slipped into the final quarter.
Just reminded by Ian Proctor, who knows these things better than anybody I know in the world, that Thomas Bosc has not actually scored another try for Catalan Dragons since that two-chip effort he got last year.
Boy, he's good, isn't it?
Oh.
That was quick.
He'll give you the crowd as well if you like. He'll know every single one of them. Here comes Bailey.
Wakefield just tightened up on that defensive process, not giving penalties away on the last two sets. That's been important for them.
Last tackle here for the Rhinos. The ball will go to her off the boot of Maguire. Luke George is outnumbered 2-1. Luke George comes up with it, though. It was flicked back, and Luke George said, thanks very much. Here goes Dale Morton.
Oh, he's lost possession. Crunch. That was a crunching tackle on Morton.
And this is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Up the middle he goes. Here's a chance for Leeds now.
They're getting over the advantage line with the big forwards as well. I get the impression, Eddie, that Wakefield are tiring very quickly indeed.
We're in the last quarter of the match. Diskin in at dummy half quickly, finds Webb. Here's Bailey. Bailey will go up the middle. There are three there, though, to stop him. And they do on tackle number 2. So there's plenty in the bag here for Leeds Rhinos. I think Bailey's got a problem. Played that ball very gingerly, walked away, or rather staggered away, holding on to either his top of his thigh or his shoulder or his arm. And Ryan Hall's in for a hat-trick. Try is given. Ryan Hall gets the hat-trick try into double figures for 2010. Ryan Bailey with a problem for Leeds. But Leeds, Ryan Hall giving all the problems to Wakefield down that left flank. Terrific try, they're back in it again.
Certainly was. Morton just lost possession. It allowed them to range it through, but this was wonderful work on the blind side. Watch this from Maguire. Throws the dummy in and out, and the slip. Sucks in Blanche, and Ryan Hall says, I'll take the hat-trick. Good work from Diskin to start it. Webb passes it on, but watch Maguire in and out. Sean Gleeson couldn't do anything about it. Damien Blanche knew that he had to go for it, and it left the opening for Ryan Hall.
Well, Super League's top try scorer of last year is back in the groove in a big way, and he's got hat-tricks in his career. He's got 5 tries against Castleford in 2009. He got 4 in the cup tie recently against Hull in 2010. What's the betting he doesn't get another 1 or 2 here tonight? What a kick from Sinfield. It's 28-30. Well, we had a couple of matches at the start that were tight as drums. They couldn't score points. We've seen Warrington rack up the biggest ever total of points in the Magic Weekend history, and we've got another point-a-thon in progress here.
And still plenty of time to go, and you just got that impression that the Rhinos are feeling that their opposition are now struggling. Do they have the energy, Wakefield, to hang on? I think it'll be a big mistake. You can see there quite clearly we've only had 64 minutes of this game, so they do not have to rush the Rhinos. They can just build up slowly but surely.
That was another 20-year-old Luke Ambler who took that ball up from the kick-off, the first collision. And this now is Luke Burgess, and he's grounded by those 3. Obbs was all over him. Diskin gets it away to Sinfield. He gets it away to Clarkson. Leeds just gaining momentum, just getting over the advantage line. Peacock again. Terrific run from the England captain. On halfway, he plays it to Diskin. There's Sinfield with a measured kick to the corner. Tremendous kick. Murphy will have to run it back again, and Leeds will hunt the mistake, as they did just before.
Good call as well by the fullback, Aaron Murphy. He said it's mine. Made sure he got through, but then you can see there that John Keir realises they have a problem with the energy. And there's for quite some time when they were in that defensive line, they threw Luke George down in the middle.
Let's go down to Bill.
Yeah, Ryan Bailey on the sidelines for the Rhinos. We saw him coming off with a shoulder problem. It's the left shoulder that he's just banged, I think. He's just a great bag of ice just goes on it at the moment, but he's been able to raise his arm under the instructions of the Leeds doctor, and he looks okay. But obviously, big game coming up. They don't want him picking up any more knocks. They've already lost Rob Burrow in this game with a knee problem. They don't need to lose another player. Luke Burgess was due to go back on anyway.
Lee Smith will run this ball back. It was another poor kick from Ben Jeffries, straight to Brent Webb. They give it width. Here goes Ryan Hall, the man who loves to score the tries. Oh, he released the ball. Didn't need to, and Wakefield, I think, have got it back. To knock on.
Play the knock on.
Which way?
This should be Wakefield's.
It is.
It is, yeah. Well, it was a great run, wasn't it?
Well, was there
Ryan
a knock
Hall
on the deck here?
Yeah,
was that a knock on there?
I think it might have been Delaney with a trailing arm. No, it's Webb. Yeah, just gets a fingertip to it.
Yeah, well done, Thierry Alibert.
Yes, Uncle Albert got that one right, that's for sure. It's now then they've got to try to just settle down now. That's what John Keir will be saying to them. Look, come on, play to the pattern.
I disagree, Mike. I think Wakefield need to be thinking about, we've got to score here, because if they go behind, it will be even harder for them to come back. They can't hope that they're going to get to 80 minutes with a 2-point lead. They did score 5 tries in the first half. They're capable of getting over the line, but they need to believe and play for that now.
Yeah, but they've got to get into a very good position first.
Well, they're in that position now. Here goes Richard Moore. That's the 4th tackle gone. Davey is the man in at dummy half. Sam Obst. Sam Obst then finds Jeffries. Good quick hands. Here's Jason Demetriou. And it's Leeds' turn to muscle up in defence, but that's the last tackle here now. Jeffries asking his players to come forward on this last tackle. One more big effort. Obst with a kick out wide. Looking for Luke George. Well, the ball has dropped and it has been touched down, I think, by Aaron Murphy. And here is a massive call from video referee Phil Bentham. How did the ball arrive at Aaron Murphy's hands?
They're all onside. He's checking that out, is Phil Bentham. So that's fine. He wants to see who gets a hand to this. George, it's a beautiful jump. That'll be a knock-on. To me, that's a knock-on.
Doesn't it go backwards? This will tell us.
Well, watch the first impact. That's going forward.
Is it off Lee Smith?
No, I think it's off Luke George as far as that's concerned.
Well, there's confusion this end of the commentary box. What about you two?
Well, I think Luke George does knock it forward with his right hand, Eddie. I think that's the... There's no clear evidence, but that would be my assessment of it. And then there's possibly a knock-on in the in-goal area anyway by Murphy.
Yeah, there's no movement from the arm to flick it backwards. He's going in that direction, and the ball goes the same way. A little bit slower than Luke George, but nevertheless in the same direction. Clear knock-on.
Yep. Paul and I agree.
Well, and so does Phil, so...
Yep.
The only man whose opinion counts, of course, is Phil Bentham, the video referee, and what does he say? The try's denied. It's a 20-metre restart, and Leeds, well, they'll be happy with that.
Wait, Matt, wait. On your 10.
Well, they were close. Wakefield were so close to what, with 12.5 minutes to go, just might have been a clinching try. As it is, the fat is still in the fire. 28-30. But the champions having the devil's own job against the Wildcats. This is Ambler now.
Move! Go. Yes.
Diskin, good ball. Peacock stands, looks for the offload. There was nobody there to give it to. It's a good tackle low down by Henderson. Here goes Diskin again, looking for that penalty. He got the 10 metres. That's why Henderson could come in.
Great work by the hooker, Eddie. That was something that Leeds really needed. He's been red hot over the last 15 minutes. It's a good kick. What a take.
And he was actually taken out in midair by Lee Smith. It was Dale Morton who was given the call from his coach, John Keir, at the very last minute, Dale Morton.
Put under a lot of pressure, and you can see there that Lee Smith certainly goes for... Well, he tried for the ball, but
Tried
didn't
to
get
catch
there.
the ball, didn't he?
Yeah, but he caught the head on the shoulder, didn't he?
Yeah, he made contact.
So Leeds, 2 points behind. No need to panic. Plenty of time remaining. I'm sure that Brian McLennan will be telling his players that.
Well, I bet the Wakefield fans don't forget the agony or pain of the game at Bellevue last year at home when they led against Leeds until those dying seconds. They won't want to go through that again, and now a tough 10 minutes or 11 minutes for them here. They've got to continue to play, though. There can't be this nervous element where you're hoping that the clock ticks over.
Well, that game you're referring to, Wakefield led 30-16 with 15 minutes to go, and Leeds came back and won it 32-30. And if I remember rightly, wasn't it Kevin Sinfield who kicked one off the touchline?
That was a poor pass by Paul Johnson, straight into the arms of Diskin. And you can see that they're running
another penalty here that Wakefield have conceded.
Not standing square.
That's the big play for the Leeds Rhinos. I thought that inclusion of Leo Lazu back off the bench onto the field for the Wakefield Wildcats might just liven things up, but they're doing the things that they shouldn't be doing at the moment, going backwards, defending the try line against the champions.
Sensational kick from Sinfield as well. Look where they are, where they begin this set of 6. This is Burgess. They're underneath the Wakefield posts here. And there is Badiris. It comes back to Maguire. And Maguire torments them, gets it wide to Senior. Senior keeps it going to Webb. Leeds throwing caution to the wind here, looking for the try that just might win it. This is Luke Ambler. 2 tackles gone, 4 remaining. Wakefield defending their own line for their lives. Sinfield, back it comes to Webb. He's clattered by George, gets it away to Clarkson. Here is Delaney. This is Lee Smith, and Lee Smith is halted by Luke George.
He knew he had to come back on the inside, couldn't risk going towards a whitewash. Possession is vital now for the Rhinos.
Webb gets the ball in field. Peacock, great offload to Sinfield. Sinfield went to throw the pass, and a player ran on his inside as the dummy runner. And Wakefield breathe a sigh of relief. Dimitri gets it away. Here is Gleeson.
That could just completely change this game around.
You know, they deserve a little bit of luck, Wakefield, not necessarily on that play, but the previous set in defence. There was only 3 people defending from the post to the touchline. They scrambled and they got hold of Lee Smith.
Well, who'd be a coach? John Keir must be biting his fingernails. They've got less than 9 minutes to go. They lead by 2 points, Wakefield. It would be such an important win for them.
Certainly would, and I'm with Paul in the fact that Tabita Leolatu is out there. He caused Leeds quite a lot of trouble in that first half. He could be the key player.
Here's Obst, changes direction brilliantly, bounces off one, gets away from Ambler, gets away from Burgess, gets away from another. Leolatu wide. Ryan Hall went for the interception then.
But that was sheer panic by Wakefield.
Well, they're the team
that's in front, and they really shouldn't have had to do that. Gleeson really could have taken the tackle, then get the kick and chase, apply the pressure. Now they are having to absorb that pressure.
By form the scrum quickly, the clock is halted.
By instinct, Sean Gleeson was going for the same flick pass that put Blanche away in the opening first half of this game. It's by instinct, just a flick of the fingers, it's all in the wrist, and he was trying to get his winger away for the winning score.
So here come Leeds. These are the matches you'll be able to see with us tomorrow. Magic Weekend continues tomorrow here on Sky Sports Live, Sky Sports HD4 and Sky Sports 4 all afternoon. 3 tackles gone this set of 6. Badiris at dummy half for the Leeds Rhinos. Here is Peacock. Peacock driving it in. It was Kevin Henderson who got the tackle in. Now it's with Sinfield. Oh, and they've gone without it again, and Luke George has got it! An important grab of the shirt tail there by Chris Clarkson. Luke George was away.
That's a game saver. It was all over.
Oh, high shot by Peacock, penalty Wakefield. They'll take their time, they won't rush this.
Right there. And that is not a good time to come out with it. Right over the top. The first impact onto the shoulder, but he goes right up into the face. And Morton certainly felt it. He is not a happy bunny.
Pained expression on the face of Jamie Peacock. Wakefield have another set of 6 here. 7 minutes to go. They lead by 2 points. Paul King, the forwards, have done a fantastic job for Wakefield thus far. John Keir's on his way down.
Which is not surprising.
Here goes King up the middle.
That's a great run. You know, it's things like that. Just taking the ball, dragging in the defence. It just lifts the side. Now then, Leo Latu, what can he do?
Pops it up to Ben Jeffries, who's had another high shot from Badeiros.
Oh, across the chest. Oh, no, Jeffries is not too happy with it. Is he trying to just... no, I think he did.
He gets to his feet groggily. This is Sam Obbs, delays the pass. It's Aaron Murphy. That's the last one for Wakefield.
Dinking into the in-goal area, trying to get the second set. That's good play.
And they'll get the second set. Will Brent Webb get out? No, they will get the second set. And I was going to say that Wakefield would mortgage their town hall to get another set of 6 here, and they've just got it.
Quick kick from Sinfield. Watch this, what will he do? Quick one or short one?
Well, he wants to get it back in play, doesn't he?
Well, Sinfield is the pass master at this.
Tremendous work, though, from Wakefield. He's gone deep. Murphy's underneath. Here comes Jason Demetriou. Weighs up his options, decides to take the ball towards Jamie Jones-Buchanan, takes the tackle. Look at the clock, 5.5 minutes to go. 2 points the difference. The best contest of this Magic Weekend Day 1. They've saved it to the last. King gets to his feet, plays it to Leo Latu. Here is Paul Johnson. Cut down by Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Leo Latu again. Now with Obst, finds Jeffries. Jeffries, lovely ball to Demetriou, goes through Ambler, can't get away from Senior. They're inching closer, though, to that Leeds line. Leo Latu weighs up the options again, runs laterally, finds Jeffries. He gets it away. Chance here for Dale Ferguson. That's the last. Will they get another set of 6? Will they get a 4-pointer? It's with Murphy! Murphy gets the ball away. They still got it.
They're still getting it away.
Alive. Morton on the last. Hoists the kick. Oh, and it was well controlled by Ryan Hall. It's a tap on the 20-metre line.
Well, that was amazing what Wakefield did then. It looked as though they'd gone for the wrong option, went for the power play, get it away. They got the kick away finally.
They're just over 4 minutes away from beating Leeds Rhinos twice in a Super League season for the first time in the 15-year history of this competition.
They'd have been far better getting tackled right on the line instead of taking a chance with a kick and the 20-metre quick tap restart.
Leeds desperate for the try. They've got 4 minutes to go. They've never led in this match, the champions. They're within 2 points. It's with Maguire. He goes long and finds Senior, and Senior will attack them down that left side. Gets the ball away to Brent Webb, and here's a chance, and that could be the try for Badeiros. The referee's going to give this. Leeds hit the front for the first time so late in the game. Danny Badeiros, Brent Webb, the pass away to him, and Danny Badeiros. His only starting appearance in 2 months came against Hull in Super League 3 weeks ago. And Danny Badeiros might just have won this match for the Leeds Rhinos. What a time to hit the front for the first time in this dramatic match.
Keeping the ball alive, it was good work by Senior as well. Back on the inside, super stuff. Webb knew that he had Badeiros coming through. He had to get it the second time. Great positioning by Thierry Alibert. But watch Senior in and out, just shrugs them the way and then offloads. That is superb play. We knew he was going to have to take something. Now then, the momentum, the ball carrying arm had hit the deck, but he was still moving. Some of the Wakefield players thought that he'd been tackled, but he didn't. He was moving over, spun away, had to get it on the second one. And he is absolutely distraught, is John Keir.
Well, he'll feel like his pocket has been picked.
Hey, stop.
They've hit the front for the first time, and there mightn't be enough time for Wakefield to mount a serious charge. Sinfield to try and add the extras.
Hang on.
The captain obliges. But Danny Medeiros, the man who made his full debut here for Leeds in the Magic Weekend 12 months ago, just might have snatched the victory for Brian McLennan and his team of champions, and they will get into the top 8 as we hit the halfway point. But what a struggle. There's still 2.5 minutes to go, though.
Yep, don't write them off. Wakefield will go for the short kick-off. But that was a classic try, created by Senior's ability to step, come back on the inside, and then have the support play by Webb. And finally, they've gone for the short. Will they get it back? Yes, they will. Oh, no, they won't. Yes, they will. Well, what's he given?
It's a penalty to Leeds because the Wakefield man was in front of the knock-on. He's given a penalty. The Wakefield players think he has given the knock-on. He's got them for offside.
Come on.
John Keir thinks it should have been head and feet at the scrum to Wakefield. But it wasn't a scrum, it was a penalty.
I got it wrong a little bit before, Eddie, when I said I thought Leo Latu might come off the bench and make a massive impact. He's been on. He's not made a tackle since he's been on the field for that second spell, and now he's off again.
Well, we made the point, Eddie, is the fact that Wakefield looked very tired 3/4 of the way through this game. And full credit to Leeds, they have not panicked, they've just kept playing it through. Good hard work from the forwards, it got them in a position, but it took some class to score that try.
Clarkson drives it in, into the last minute. Here is Peacock. Still going, Jamie Peacock, still going Peacock, dragging Leeds to the Wakefield line, tremendous effort. Back it goes to Maguire. He was closed down by Jeffries, but he still managed to get away. And Maguire running and arcing now towards the line, clawed down by Gleeson. Last tackle here. 30 seconds remaining.
Get it into touch, get it into touch.
Ryan Hall gets the ball away, Maguire flicks it forward. And that will be the turnover, says the referee on the 10, because it was a forward pass.
Now it's a kick and chase, kick and chase, yeah. Tap it, there's no one, and I can't believe it. Webb has not gone back yet. He's creeping back now.
Medeiros, though, with a very important tackle on Dale Ferguson.
It's got to be a kick and chase. Oh, that's not a good one.
It's a hump and hope. Jamie Jones-Buchanan goes down, and Leeds have won a titanic battle here at Murrayfield against Wakefield. Brian McLennan knows his men have played their biggest get-out-of-jail-free card of the season. Michael Korkidas, who was playing his 200th career game in the British Rugby League, he has run his blood to water, as have all the Wakefield players, but it's Leeds who prevail. Leeds led for 3 minutes in the match, but it was the important 3 minutes. It was the last 3 minutes. But that was a fantastic game, and well, if they save the best to the last in these Magic weekends each and every day, we've seen it all here now in this one. It was a great game.
Certainly was, and as I mentioned before, it needed class to be able to get through it. They just worked so hard, did Wakefield. They're devastated, absolutely devastated, and they've every reason to feel that way. But you just got the impression, Paul, that they were running out of steam late in that game.
Jamie Peacock did a fantastic job, taking a lot of energy out the Wakefield Wildcats, right up the middle of the field. A little bit lightweight today without the likes of Carl Luluai in the middle of the field. No Alalawatita, no Eastwood, and Peacock, I thought, was absolutely immense.
Peacock was immense, but the man who scored the 3 tries for Leeds, Ryan Hall, has been judged the man of the match. Here he is talking to Bill.
Ryan Champagne, nicely chilled. That must be the toughest hat-trick you've scored.
Yeah, we certainly had to work for it there. Like everyone says, the game lasts 80 minutes, and we certainly played to that 80-minute mark today. I think we were dog awful in the first half. I think everyone can see that. And we really have to raise this game for the second half. I think we did that in great fashion.
And indicative of how tough the game was, that it wasn't until sort of 3 minutes from the end that you actually got your noses in front.
Yeah, that's right. Great play from Keith and Webby there for Danny Medeiros to score there. Like at these Magic weekends, we love to win in emphatic fashion. We've done so every time we've come here. So we've got 100% record on me. We're really proud of that, and they're really great. Sorry about that.
You got the Man of the Match award, champagne, £100 for charity as well. Where would you like to go with that?
And the Lighters, I think it's the World 10 up at St James's Children's Cancer Ward.
Thanks, Ryan. Well done today. Let's bring the skipper in, Kevin Sinfield. That looks of relief on the guys' faces at the end there.
Yeah, well, I think we tried every way to lose the game. You know, we did some schoolboy errors at times, and we paid the price the first half. And thankfully, you know, we got a bit of a telling off at half time, and we come out and started to play a little bit, and stopped making errors. And you know, we can be dangerous, but the flip side of that is we can be awful as well. And we saw both of that today, and we need to build and we need to improve.
Is that maybe being a bit unkind to Wakefield, because they certainly made life difficult for you? I mean, it's a big effort from a side that's lost 4 in a row, but you'd always expect that in this game.
Yeah, we've got a lot of respect for Wakefield. You know, we went to their place at the start of the year and they did a real number on us. And you know, John Keir said it was the best win he's had at Wakefield, and we knew today would be tough, and especially when we're looking down the barrel of 18 points going into half time. You know, it's a tough game, and sometimes you have to face a bit of adversity before you can start to see some of the best things about your game, and thankfully we got the points today.
Kevin Sinfield, the Leeds captain, and on behalf of Ryan Hall and on behalf of Sky Sports, we apologise if any offence with that slip of the tongue by Ryan Hall in the excitement and the aftermath of this thrilling match.